Hey, what's going on, YouTubes? Gonna be doing that sharpening video now that I said I would do a while ago. Pretty much something I saw on the internet, and it's gonna be a sharpening video based on some very cheap, very easy to get a hold of supplies. I'm pretty much gonna use 800 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going to follow it up with 2000 grit sandpaper, the same I showed you before. The 2000 grit actually might be getting a little old, but you know, whatever, not a big deal right now. Pretty much the first time trying this, I briefly tried this with this Meyerco Darryl Ralph EDC. I showed you guys in the other video, and actually I liked the results. I got hair shaving results the first time, but this was with HCR 13 MOV steel. Strider's S30V is just a tad bit more, just a tad bit harder. So we'll see what kind of results I come up with, but you know, just trying it out. I normally wouldn't test things on a knife, you know, of this value. However, I really don't feel I could do much damage. You know, using 600 grit or 800 grit, I'm sorry, and 2000 grit sandpaper, I'm really doing it by hand. I'm not going to remove too much metal. I'm not going to do anything that I can't fix with a guided system or have somebody else fix. So I'm going to give it a shot. We can see the results. Just a couple things in case you guys want to try and recreate this at home or with any system. Really, anytime you sharpen, you kind of want to be in a comfortable position, a position that you can recreate the motion multiple times. You know, you don't want to be cramped. You don't want to be, you know, you guys get what I mean. You don't want to be in an uncomfortable position where you think you're going to have problems recreating the same movement, because that's what sharpening is about, consistency. And then also, I don't think you'll be able to pick it up here, but with sharpening, knowing to go from one grit to the next, sometimes you can actually hear the difference. I can definitely hear the difference, especially on the guided system that I have. When I go from, you know, when I start with, you know, the coarse grit, it makes a noise. When I take a slow, even stroke up the blade, it makes a certain noise. And then after I use that stone for a little while and I start to make progress, you can definitely hear a different tone. It's definitely softer, and it's a different tone, it's a different pitch. Pretty much because, you know, every abrasive material rubbing against another abrasive material has its own frequency. You know, it has a unique frequency, and when you make something a little less abrasive, which, you know, sharpening and buffing and polishing is, you know, you're going to change the frequency a little bit. But try and pay attention next time you guys sharpen, or either in this video, to see if you can notice. But you know, enough talking. So let's see if this actually, you know, if this pays off, if this works. I'm gonna try and keep the camera right here. You know, but if I have to move it, I'll just move it. Not a big deal. Also, you know, if you guys wanna, pretty much what I'm gonna do is, you'll see, it's just gonna be this motion, honestly, back and forth on sandpaper. One good thing, you know, if you want to practice getting the angle right, you could just do this on paper like I have right here. You know, do this. You're not going to damage your blade, and you can get the angle down pretty good. Because once again, if I go too low, I can hear it scraping this coating, or I can feel it being more abrasive than against the blade. Also, if, you know, if you go too high, you dig in, and you don't really damage anything. So it's good practice if you want to try this. But anyway, let's get to it, and let's see what kind of results we have, alright? So, I mean, this is using $8 materials. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens, alright, boys? And girls? Alright. And notice when, you can't really see my hand, can you? I'll try and move the video camera later on. Now, I'm not trying to reprofile this. I'm just trying to polish or sharpen the original edge. Not that it was dull from Strider, but you know, definitely not what I've had knives be. You know, I can definitely get it sharper than this, whether if I do it, you know, by hand or, you know, a guided system. Okay, so I'm just taking a look. Just taking a look to see what if there's any results yet. You know, I probably should have done, which I really didn't think about. I should have grabbed a marker, and I should have marked the edge to see what kind of, you know, where I'm hitting it. And when I'm doing this, when I'm on the flat part of the blade, you know, my hand angle's in one way. But when I get towards the belly, I bring my hand up. I'm gonna over exaggerate it so you guys can see. But instead of being, you know, maybe like this, when I get to the belly, I bring my hand up. You see that? I go from here to here. That's so you can hit the belly better, I think. You know, like I said, I am by no means an expert. You know, very trial and error stages right now. You know, and I might have to edit this. I don't know how long this is going to take. Like I said, you know, I'm just bringing you guys with me on this trial. I think actually I'm going to get a marker out in a little bit just to see what I am hitting. I'm not 100% sure what edge Strider does or what angle Strider puts on it, but you know, it is fairly steep. It's definitely not near as laid back as Spyderco. All right, guys. Definitely removing some metal. You know what? Honestly, I'm kind of sorry, guys. This might be a boring video. Okay, well, here's a difference already. Before, when I would test how sharp it is, you know, you're supposed to just put the knife, the weight of the blade, weight of the knife, on your nail, and then move it forward. You know, try and move it. And before, it would slide right off my nail. But now, it's starting to stick. You know, you can see I'm putting it down, pushing forward, and it's sticking. It will still slide off, but definitely doing a lot better than before. So I think this definitely is working. I definitely think this is working. I told you guys before, my camera doesn't have autofocus, so it's going to be hard for me to show you immediate results. But you know, I'll make a separate video. I think this is going to take a little while, not going to lie, guys. So I might have to just pause you guys, bring you back at a different time when I get a little farther through this. But for right now, just going to put these markings on, make sure I'm hitting the right angles, and then, you know, then I'll bring you guys back later, because I don't want to bore you guys anymore. I'm already going on almost 8 minutes. I don't want to do that to you guys. You know, there's much more interesting videos that you guys could be watching, I'm sure. But, you know, as you do this, it's definitely putting a little bit of a convex edge. It's, you know, it's changing it from a straight V grind to definitely a little bit of a convex edge. You know, which I like, which I don't mind. I think that's going to be, you know, looking forward to that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but this dot that I put on, it's gone at the edge of the blade. It still remains at the top a little bit. This is starting to disappear. It's fading pretty evenly. This one, deeper up the belly, is pretty much all gone. So that means I'm hitting this very well. I'm hitting this pretty well, and I need to get a better angle at this. And then the one, the tip, is pretty much still there, honestly. So, and I might have even drawn back a little bit of the coating. So I definitely need to get a steeper angle on that, on the tip. Absolutely need a steeper angle on the tip. I'm not too worried about removing a little bit of the coating, because eventually I will lay that edge back. I'm gonna do this side now. Gonna try a little steeper angle on this side to see if I can get a better hit that initial, the first mark a little better, close to the finger choil there. I'm gonna try and get a little steeper on that tip too. Can you guys hear that difference? That as opposed to this. You can tell this side's definitely rougher. It's also hard to do this side, I feel, because you can't see where the edge touches the paper. You know, generally when you sharpen, you don't want daylight. You don't want to see, you know, I hope you guys can see this. That's pretty much even there. But if I do that, you can see, you know, you can see there's a gap, and I'm too shallow. Here you can't really tell. But let's see. Yeah, see, I still need a steeper edge on the tip. But the other two, this dot's going away fairly well, and this is going away fairly well. But you can tell, even though my camera's not focusing well, you can obviously see that this is a lot thicker, a lot, you know, deeper color. So I'm not hitting it as well. Oh, you know what? I think I just showed you guys the same side. My bad, guys. Alright, let's go to this side. This is starting to disappear. Same here, this is starting to disappear at the bottom. And it's getting lighter. And this is actually starting to disappear. So I was hitting on this side, the side I just did. I was hitting the tip better by creating a little bit steeper of an angle. There you go. I think that focuses better for you guys. Alright, well we're almost on 11 minutes. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to continue this method. You know, post comments, say, hey man, that's a horrible method. I don't know why you're doing that to your strider. Or say, hey, that seems, you know, that might be useful. I might try it. I don't know. Post whatever you like. Trying to keep constructive. Just trying this out. And I'm sorry the video got a little too long. Jay Davis 882 recommended I put some painter's tape on here. And I said, you know, nah, I'm not, I really don't think I'm gonna need it, just because I'm not using any stones, any hones, anything sharp edges where I could, you know, nick the paint. Well, should have listened to him. You can tell when I was coming here, I got a little close and I was rubbing this choil on the paper. And you're like, oh, it's just paper, but look at that. Can you guys see right there? Right there. You know, it started taking some of the coating off. So yes, paper will work as a strop. And there, you can see it in there too. So I did take a little bit of the coating off. I don't care. That's gonna come off when you cut stuff. I don't care. You know, nice little accent. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you later and keep you guys updated with stuff like this. All right. See you guys.